Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are firing up the habitat series. We're cutting some hardwood timber today, clearing out the food plot, doing a little expansion, and we're going to be doing a new screening all the way around here. So today's episode is going to be talking about utilizing things like hybrid willow, or really any sort of willow, or dogwood. I'm going to try to put some shrubbier bushes all the way around this entire food plot to enhance the edge, the screening. We're already going through and we're edge feathering, and we're allowing native habitat to come back and flourish in this area. We're removing the canopy, and we're creating a really nice soft edge with food cover. Cover's key. This episode is going to be entirely about cover today. Even though we are standing in a food plot, I'm more worried about the cover. Cover's key. Big mature white-tailed deer, they live and die by it. So I'd say cover, then food, and then water. As far as importance goes, obviously during the rut, it's pretty much throw all that out the window and it's does. But for the most part, I still watch mature bucks utilize cover all the time, even during the rut. So let's give you a look at what we got going on down here, guys. We got some burn piles going. We're cutting some big hardwood trees right now, and we're mapping out the whole edge of this, so we'll show you what we got left. I mean, it's a lot of work still. All right, guys, we'll give you a little look here. So this is our edge right now. See, we're cutting hardwoods down out there. So let's walk around this thing and show you what we're gonna do. So here's the deer trail. Comes right through here into this food source. So obviously we're going to stop here. This is going to be an edge. We've already removed the canopy, so I know what my actual edge is based on sunlight. Obviously, if I was still struggling with getting sunlight in this food source, we keep expanding until we're getting full sun. So this is our edge. Not a lot of native stuff growing on this side yet. This is really oh boy, it's a mess. A lot of hedge and just junk here that it's going to take a little bit before we start getting anything really good growing in here. I will show you this, though, before we walk around this whole thing. We're getting some stump sprouts. So we do got some smaller trees and shrubs and, unfortunately, some honeysuckle. But honestly, over the years, I've been kind of utilizing the honeysuckle. As long as it doesn't get too bad, it does make for good cover, and they will chew on it, so they'll browse on it, and makes pretty good cover. But as you can see, it's actually really thick through here. We removed the canopy in this spot probably about 5 years ago now, and I can't see all the way through here, so that's good. We are going to start getting a lot of pokeweed and native forbs. We're going to have things like probably mare's tail and all sorts of stuff growing in here, some grasses. So this will thicken up. This will create some really, really good bedding opportunities for does. And the bucks, how we set this up, there's a really good thick bedding thicket back there. So if the does are bedded close to the food source, bucks are more than likely going to be bedded back there. That works out good for us because we utilize any sort of north or south wind out of this box blind because we're kind of on an edge here. So north-south works good. As long as we don't have west. West's the only thing that gets us, because west is going straight this direction. So when all the bedding is back here, that west wind is blowing straight to them, so we never come down to this food source during a west wind. But with the north wind, with it coming across like this diagonally, yes, there is a potential to get busted, but if it's a true north and no west in it, it's north, especially if it's northeast, even better. But if we have true north coming across this thing, I can usually go right down the creek, slip right up in this thing, keep the window sealed, and then by the time the bucks actually start coming out of the thicker bedding back there and traveling down this trail system, I'm good to go. So works out really good. We did screen the box blind in, but as you can see, looks pretty bare now. It actually was really good. The whole entire ladder was super thick. Put a lot of spruce and stuff down there, but we got a lot more work to do. That thing sticks out like a sore thumb. I don't like that at all. Big bucks, they know it's there. I know we were fortunate enough to harvest one of our targets last year, or I should say 2 years ago now, right over this mock scrape here. But even then, he was kind of iffy coming down this hill into this food source. And I think all that's just due to this thing sticking out. So we need to get it to where this thing's invisible. Probably hinge cut a bunch of trees in and around it, and then take twice, if not 3 times, the spruce and cover that whole entire ladder. And then I honestly think I'm gonna try something a little bit different. I think I'm gonna probably go ahead and start taping spruce limbs to the box blind. Haven't seen anybody do that, but I feel like it'd be a really good idea. Bring a ladder out here, tape them to the roof, around the windows, and you know, just everywhere. Any green, we're gonna try to get that covered up. That'll just break that silhouette up. I feel like that'd be a really good way of doing it. It's not gonna hurt nothing. Just put some duct tape on it, and they fall off. I can pick them up, you know, after deer season. But we'll show you guys that as we get going this spring. I'm not gonna worry about it right now, but springtime or late spring, early summer, we'll start thinking about that. This is our edge. Game plan is we're gonna buy probably, I don't know, maybe at least 100, if not 200 of those hybrid willows. Supposedly they will grow about 5 feet a year, so it seems kind of crazy to me, but trial and error. I've never used them. I've just heard good things about them, see a lot of people using them, and thought this would be a really good spot for it. And we'll edge this whole thing in it. So we'll come through here. I've got a probe, so we'll just come out, we'll probe them after we put them in water. We'll take them and put them in a 5-gallon bucket. Probably let them swell up, if not start to sprout a little bit, get a root system, then drop them in. We'll show you guys that whole process when we start doing that later this spring. But it's gonna come up here. Anywhere there's a deer trail, I'm just gonna stop. So the willows will come along here, they'll stop right there. We can make a gap, start right here. Once these willows are actually starting to come up pretty decent, then I'm gonna come back through and I'll cut this honeysuckle down. I just left that as kind of a barrier. Check this out, as these deer are coming down this trail, especially in October when this stuff's green and thick, as they're coming along this trail system out in this food source, it actually does cover up the box blind. So now imagine all this is green and just full. So it actually works out pretty good. So I have a gap there. We'll run along the front of this with willows. Got this dead tree here. This is the next project we need to get rid of. Definitely the more dangerous of the trees I gotta cut down. Do not like cutting dead stuff. Sucks. But we'll come up with the system, probably bring the tractor down, maybe make a really nice face cut on it, kind of test the waters there. Hopefully it doesn't start splintering or cracking. Then we'll try maybe pushing it over with the bucket. That'd be a safer route, because you just never know with dead stuff. Not to mention the 2 dead ass limbs up there that at any time could more than likely from the shake and drop and land on you. Just a little hairy, but come through. I need to clean this pile out to finish wrapping around this edge with those willows. We'll move all this over to this burn pile we just started. We're just gonna move everything there. I gotta get rid of this hedge tree. Actually got dead tree laying on that one, so we'll bring the pole saw out, split that one in the middle, let it break apart, pull it down, cut that hedge tree down, burn it, and I got a pile of junk right here I need to burn, and then I got a stack of logs. I'm actually keeping those. I just need to trailer them out, so we need to move those as well. 300-gallon watering hole. This thing was the ticket last 2-3 years now. It's exactly, I believe, 18 yards on the dot from that window. This thing is awesome. This is bottom ground, like river bottom ground, so really sandy. Took a long time to improve the food plot, but as far as digging goes and just holding water, I mean, this is a low spot right here anyway, so water just kind of funnels right into this thing. Haven't had to fill it since the day I filled it up, so I've yet to come back. That's nice. Got another mock scrape right there. So we will be coming around this with willows. Make a gap for this deer trail here we need to clean up. And then we'll be doing the same thing here. And as these willows start to grow and get decent, we'll go behind them and we'll start clearing out all that honeysuckle just to remove that. And this burn pile looks like it's still going. That was from 3 days ago, so the sucker's still burning. It will come once this is cleaned out. I'll show you guys. It'll wrap around here. Just giving you a full look at this because I know we've showed you guys this food source over the years, but it's kind of just been in like bits and pieces. Haven't actually walked through the whole thing and showed you the actual design. The design of this thing is awesome because it's kind of like a big X where all the trails meet right in the middle, and that's this food source. So we got a big trail system here. This one actually we dozed out when we bought the farm. Really nice trail system. And we'll get the rest of this tree all cleaned up, and that willow edge will go to about right here. Then we'll have a gap for this trail. This trail leads out into this food source, so we'll give you a look at this. This thing is a highway. Look at this. Pretty dang cool. Turn around. Yep. So we'll have a little gap in between there as you head out into the food source. And then we will continue our willows right here. Then we're going to follow this to the logging trail. We'll make a gap for this trail. This logging hill goes all the way up to the top of the Oak Ridge, and that's where a lot of bedding is. That's why this works out so well. Thermals start dropping at night, and then the deer head on out here, and then the willows will just continue around this edge here. We will come back through, flush cut this stump, finish cleaning up the hardwoods, come to here, and you can tell this is where we stop. And we talked about this last year. We discussed this. So the food plot stops here, and where the remaining hardwood trees are that we decided we're not going to cut out because we're not going to continue this as a food plot anymore. This is just going to be thick bedding cover. So the willows will come right around this edge, follow this leaf litter line right to there, and then wrap all the way back around. So let's make one big long U shape around here. And then this stuff is going to be awesome because this is going to be nothing but native habitat, just bedding cover. And we might even go in and selectively drop some blue spruce in here and maybe some willows and dogwood. Come back through, cut that hackberry tree out of there, leave that top in the food plot. I've already got a few tops. Shouldn't call it a food plot anymore. Just in the bedding cover, the edge of this. So we'll have a whole layer of native habitat from back there to here, and then some sporadic shrubs and trees, and then we'll have this whole entire edge of willows here before they enter the food source. And then when they're in this food source, they're going to have cover all the way around it with exit trails everywhere. And we'll make more defined trail systems as we continue this. That's what we got going on right now, guys. And let me tell you, it's not a quick process. Everything you do, you get it in your head and you got it all planned out. And then you show up on your property and you realize, oh my God, I got 25 hardwood trees I gotta cut. And if you're like me, I try not to bother my friends too much. So pretty much do everything myself. And it's good for you as far as getting a good workout in, but man, it takes forever. And I've been working on this food source pretty much since the day I bought this farm. I already had this place mapped out down here. Didn't exactly know how I was going to screen it or create cover or the exact dimensions of the food plot, but I had a general idea coming into it, and I definitely knew, where I wanted to start. And here we are. I think it's been year 5, 6, maybe year 6 now. I'll have to go back and look. Been a while. I can't believe how long we've actually owned this place now. It's been cool. So super fortunate to even have a property like this, and this is such a fun project. And all our cereal rye, it's starting to green back up, and before we know it, we'll be coming through with the roller and rolling everything and spraying. And we got another little cool project this year. I'll kind of hold off on telling you about that, but I'm gonna try something a little bit different. I haven't seen anybody doing it, but We have dealt with severe drought the last 2 years in a row, had a lot of food plot failures. I think I have an idea how to get my tillage radish to be successful this year. So that's the plan. Thanks for tuning in, guys, on another episode. As soon as we get them hybrid willows ordered and we're out here working on the farm, we will do a follow-up video. So thanks again for tuning in on another episode.